We're looking at today how to change from degrees to radians. And also we'll go, we'll go radians to degrees as well. So what you have to remember is that 180 degrees is equal to pi radians. So when I am going to set up a little conversion, I'm going to go from degrees to radians. So let's say we have, let's just go an easy one. Let's go 30 degrees. So if I want to change this to radians, I'm going to make like a little T-chart thing here. And I'm in degrees and I need degrees to cancel out. So this is what I always have to remember over here. 180 degrees is the same as pi. So if I have degrees on the top, on the left side, I have to put my degrees from this over here on the bottom. So these two over here will always be pi and 180. You just have to figure out what you need to cancel out. So notice that now my degree, let me see if I can change colors here. My degree symbol is going to cross off because I'm not in degrees anymore. And then I just need to reduce 30 and 180. So 30 goes into 180 6 times. So my answer is pi over 6. I have a pi on top is all I had left and a 6 on the bottom. So that is degrees to radians. So let's say we started off with some radians then. Well, let's do another degree. So let's say we had 140 degrees. So I'm going to make my little T-chart. Again, degrees on the bottom. So 180 degrees on the bottom, pi is going to go on top. So then I'm going to notice my degrees cross off. I can go ahead and also cross off that 0. Now you can put 140 and 180 in the calculator and reduce it there. I'm just going to do it on here though. So I've reduced them both by 10. I took off the 0. And then now 14 and 18, I can reduce those both by 2. So that's going to give me a 7 and a 9. So what we have left is I have a 7 on top and a pi on top, and I have a 9 on the bottom. So 7 pi over 9. 140 degrees is the same as 7 pi over 9. All right, so now let's say we're going from radians to degrees. I don't know what I just pushed there, but I don't want that. Let's push a plus sign here. Nope, don't want that either. All right, so how about we just do this? I'm going to, this one over here. I'm going to get it to work here in a second. There we go. Using new technology here. Okay, so now I am going to go from radians to degrees. Let's go pin. And you still remember the same thing. Pi is our radians, is the same as 180 degrees. So let's say we have 2 pi over 5. I'm going to go ahead and make this thing here. Since 2 pi over 5 is already a fraction, I'm going to split it up. I'm going to leave 2 pi on the top and 5 on the bottom. Now, because we know that pi is the same as 180, and I need my pi's to cancel out because pi has to do with our radians, right? So that means I'm going to put pi on the bottom over here, and my 180 degrees is on the top. So now, once I have this, I can start going reducing. So my pi's cancel out. 5 goes into 180 36 times. And now all we have left, we got a 2 and a 36 in the numerator. We have nothing in the denominator. That does not make it a 0. It makes it a 1, so I don't need it. So we have 72 degrees. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's say we had 7 pi over 10 for our radians. So I have 7 pi over 10 radians. And again, I'm going to make this fraction bar. I'm going to make it the middle bar on my conversion little T-chart here. I need pi to cancel out, so I'm going to put pi on the bottom, and pi is the same as 180. So my 180 is going to go on the top. And notice when you put degrees, you have to put the degree symbol. if you don't put a degree symbol, then you're saying you're in radians. So that's why on the top two, we didn't put a symbol or a label with those because we already knew they were in radians. No label means you're in radians. Down here, to show that we are in degrees, we have to put the degree symbol, which I did on that 72. But anyways, here we go. All right, so now we can reduce. We got 7 pi over 10 and 180 over pi. So my pi's can cancel out. 10 goes into 180 18 times. And notice our denominator is gone. So now we just need to multiply our numerator. So we have 7 times 18. Let's see, 70 and 56 would be 126 degrees. So whenever you are making or converting from degrees to radians or radians to degrees, you're always going to set up a t-chart. Did I put the, yep, I did. Okay, so when I'm going from degrees to radians, let me get my pen back here. So degrees to radians, we're always going to make a t-chart. And then this second one over here, I'm always going to have my 180 degrees on the bottom, pi on the top. If I want to go from radians to degrees, make your t-chart, but now pi is going to go on the bottom and 180 degrees is in the numerator. The left side, if you have degrees, you're really probably only going to put it here. If you have radians, it's possible that you would put it in both places. But you just fill in the degrees and the radians and then reduce.